Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to perform a bare metal backup on Linux GUI using Ahsay UBM. Ahsay provides complete protection for all your Linux servers and desktops running on Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu, Rocky Linux, and Debian in both GUI and CLI environments, as well as on Linux virtual and physical machines. Our solution offers customers multi-level protection for Linux servers and desktops on both the physical and virtual environments, all in a single backup. With an easy-to-use recovery ISO that provides an intuitive user interface to guide the customers through the whole recovery process. Leveraging Linux Logical Volume Manager or LVM, which uses snapshot technology of the logical volume on a Linux machine during backup, ensuring total data consistency. Linux LVM snapshots allows for hot backups to be performed with minimal impact to the services, applications, or databases running on a Linux machine. Ahsay Linux Bare Metal Backup allows for recovery of an entire Linux machine, which includes the operating system, configuration settings, drivers, applications, and files to an existing machine or a replacement machine with similar or dissimilar hardware configuration, providing fast and flexible recovery options to reduce downtime and provide total data protection for Linux servers and desktops. Our simplified recovery process minimizes downtime by removing the need to install or configure Linux on your server and desktop before you recover your data, as well as supporting backup of a virtual machine with recovery to a physical machine or V2P, or backup of a physical machine with recovery to a virtual machine or P2V. Let's go to my screen and create a backup. Open Ahsay UBM on your Linux machine. Enter the root account password. Then enter your login credentials. Click the backup sets tile and click on the plus icon to create a new backup set. Enter the name of your new backup set, then select Linux Bare Metal Backup as the backup set type. Click Next to proceed. In the backup source section, select volume groups for the backup. Selecting volume groups will include all logical volumes, physical volumes, and volume groups in the backup job, ensuring complete backup of the entire system, which is useful for restoring a system to its original state in case of catastrophic failure, or when migrating to new hardware, or a different environment such as P2V migration or physical to virtual of your Linux server or desktop. Click Next to proceed. Create an automatic backup schedule. Turn on the setting and click on the plus icon to add a schedule. Input the name of the new backup schedule. For the type setting, you can select either daily, weekly, monthly, or a custom setting. For the start backup setting, you can choose at if you want the backup schedule to start at a specified time, or every if you want it to start at a specified interval. Using small backup intervals ensures that the changes to the files are captured regularly for greater flexibility in recovering your data. However, having small backup intervals also means that the backup machine must have the appropriate hardware specifications to achieve optimal performance. As the amount of new data grows, ensure the Ahsay UBM user account has enough storage quota allocation, and consider the retention policy settings and retention area storage management. For the stop setting, which is only available if the start backup setting is set to at, there are two options available. Until full backup completed, where the backup job will only stop running when all the changes to your data are completely backed up, regardless of how long it takes, and after, which stops the backup job after a specific time period even if the backup of all your files and folders is not completed. The best practice is to enable Run Retention Policy after backup, which will delete the files and folder in the retention area that have exceeded the retention period. This is to better manage the backup storage quota. For our example, we'll create a daily backup schedule set at 8 p.m., which is outside working hours. This minimizes impact to end users and ensures regular backup of files. Click OK, then Next to proceed. Leave the backup mode on sequential, as our example for today only has one storage destination. However, if you have more than one storage destination, it is recommended to set the backup mode to concurrent. For our example, we will save our files to the Ahsay drive. Click on the plus icon and select Ahsay drive as the destination storage. Click Next to proceed. Use the default setting for encryption. This is the most secure option as it uses Ahsay's AES 256-bit data encryption, and it will randomly generate a 44 alphanumeric character encryption key to secure your backup. Remember, once you have selected the encryption settings, it cannot be changed afterwards. If you need to change the encryption settings, you would need to create a brand new backup set and back up all your data again. Click Next to proceed. It is very important to keep a copy of your encryption key before clicking Confirm. If you forget or lose your encryption key, you will lose the ability to access and restore your backup data. Once you have secured the encryption key, click Confirm to proceed. The backup set has been successfully created. Click on Backup Now to start a backup job, or you can click Close and your files will be automatically backed up later at 8 p.m. since we already set a schedule earlier. Let's click Close and see the other settings. Click on the backup set that we just created. Click on the Show Advanced Settings to see the other available options. Click on the duplication. The duplication is enabled by default, and when it is turned on, it removes redundant data blocks. The default settings are the optimal settings for the duplication, and for Linux bare metal backups, it saves up to 50% or more storage space, saves cost, and reduces network bandwidth usage. Next, select Retention Policy. The retention policy dictates how long it will hold files and folders that were deleted or modified during a backup job before they are removed. They are stored in the retention area, which is a temporary destination to store the files and folders which can still be restored. Increasing their duration increases the likelihood of recovering older versions of deleted or modified files and folders, increasing the storage required, which translates to higher storage cost. There are two types of retention policy available. Simple, which is a basic policy where the retained files are removed automatically after a specified number of days or backup jobs. And advanced, which is a more flexible policy which can be used to maximize the scope of your data recovery while minimizing storage usage and cost. You can set it to daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly, and a custom setting. Let's go back and select a simple retention policy. Next, select Others. The temporary directory is set to a local volume by default. The temp folder is the default location where Ahsay UBM temporarily stores backup set index files and temporary restore files. The best practice is to set the temporary directory to another local drive for optimal backup and restore performance. Enable the remove temporary files after backup to effectively manage the free space on the drive. It should not be located on the same partition as the operating system because if that drive fills up, it could cause the backup machine to crash, preventing your backup from running or completing. It shouldn't also be set to a network drive as it could affect both backup and restore performance. Click Change and select a different location. I will select the path MNT, Data, and Temp, which is on another drive. Next is compression type. You can change the compression type at any time, but the changes will take effect on the next backup job. Use the default setting for the compression, which is fast with optimization for local, as this is the optimal setting for our backup set type. Last is Recycle Bin. This feature allows the user to set the number of days the block files that were deleted, either due to retention policy or data integrity check, will be held as added protection. Click Save to save the changes and go back to the main menu of Ahsay UBM. We will now manually run a backup job. Click on the backup tile. Then select the backup set that we just created. Enable the Run Retention Policy after backup option to permanently delete files and folders in the retention area which have exceeded the retention period to better manage the backup storage quota. Click Backup to start the backup job. The backup has successfully completed. And that's how you perform a bare metal backup on Linux GUI using Ahsay OBM. With Ahsay, your data is fully protected, armed with the latest technology like immutable backups, where your backup data will never be encrypted, deleted, or modified for total protection against hackers and ransomware. Strong AES 256-bit data encryption ensures that your data is encrypted during transit and when your data is stored, to prevent anyone from reading your data without your permission. Two-factor authentication, to prevent anyone from accessing your data without your permission. Multi-destination backups, to store your backup data in more than one storage destination and across many geographical regions, for maximum protection against natural disasters, fire, or conflicts. And data deduplication, a feature that removes duplicate copies of data that helps you save up to 90% of your storage space, with significant savings on your data storage costs, as well as much faster backup. That's why you should choose Ahsay. Your data is safe with us.